Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
She wants to give every Michigan taxpayer a $180 check. Governor Whitmer lays out a plan to help Michiganders battle inflation. Governor laid out the plan at an announcement this morning, and it goes beyond just the checks. Good to have you with us at 5. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Let's take you through some of the broad strokes here. The $180 checks could come as early as this spring. And it's important to note people who file jointly will get just one check, meaning $90 per person. The governor also plans to cut the retirement tax.
That is the quickest way that we can get relief. I've heard both minority leaders make comments to the effect that they want something that helps everyone and that they can move fast. This does both, and I think that's why, we're excited that this really is a plan that can help people now.
Let's bring in Rod Maloney, who's live with us tonight. Rod, some Republicans say this is a bit of a smokescreen.
Yeah, because they're not seeing eye to eye on this, and they're going to have some bipartisan work on this, Devin. But here's the thing. Yes, $180 puts cash in your pocket right away. Governor also says that pension tax repeal would also include private pensions, which she had not said previously. And then the other thing is she's vastly expanding the earned income tax credit, and that is big.
As we looked across what could we do that would be helpful to people, this was the biggest way that we can really make a difference in people's lives and keep money in their pockets.
Grocery costs shooting through the roof. Simple staples like eggs selling at historic highs. The governor sending those $180 checks to people behind every single state tax return. So if you file a joint return, there is one $180 check. At Holiday Market today in Royal Oak, shoppers seemed glad to get at least something.
That's cool. I didn't hear about that.
I work for the federal government, and a lot of veterans and older adults are really struggling financially. So I really support her efforts to boost the economy.
I think we've given enough money out here for a while. We can't afford ourselves anymore.
I mean, what goes in comes out. I don't know if it necessarily makes a difference.
I think it'll help a lot of people just because of the way inflation has been, but it might not seem... It doesn't seem that much like in the grand scheme of things.
Brownstown State Representative Jamie Thompson agrees, saying $180 is not enough. And what's more, she believes the governor is looking to end around a state income tax reduction.
Law was put into place so that when our government got too much money, an automatic trigger would happen. And that's what we're looking at right now. We're in a position that we can actually give real financial relief long term.
Governor, of course, disagrees with that position, but she does need to work with the Republicans because in the Senate she needs 2/3 majority to be able to have immediate effect, which is something she wants. House is not in tomorrow, so we're going to have to see how this goes. Kimberly, back to you.
Rod, before you go, what about the pension part of this package? How does that work?
Well, that's the thing. The governor kind of rolled that out this morning, and so there were many unanswered questions. Legislators I talked to today said that they're not even sure how all this is going to work. So we're going to have to see how this thing rolls out in reality when words get down on paper for a bill later on this week. At least many legislators hope that's what happens.
We know you'll stay on top of it. Rod, we appreciate it.
Our other top story tonight, thousands of people are feared dead after a powerful earthquake hit parts of Turkey and Syria. Crews are working right now nonstop to try to clear the rubble and look for survivors. The initial quake registered at 7.8 on the Richter scale, and there have been more than 50 aftershocks.
From under the dust and rubble, a small hand reaches out. Volunteer white helmet rescuers pulling out a Syrian boy from the debris alive. But their frantic search for life is not enough.
We need help, we need support, immediate support from anyone who can support us.
The catastrophic 7.8 magnitude earthquake collapsing buildings. As people slept in bed, the U.S. Geological Survey predicts the death toll could rise by the thousands based on the location of the quake in Turkey and Syria. It is one of the strongest to hit the region since 1939.
We're not ready to deal with something like this. It's bigger than us and bigger than any NGO operating in northwest Syria to handle this disaster.
Survivors unable to go home, taking shelter wherever they can find it, even in cars.
If you want to say hello to my kids,
But strong aftershocks complicate the search for those trapped, the largest of them measuring a powerful 7.5 magnitude. International help is on the way. Several countries are donating money, equipment, and manpower as rescuers dig for any signs of life.
Turkey's president has declared 7 days of national mourning. President Biden says the U.S. is sending teams to Turkey to assist with rescue efforts and also try to help the people displaced by the quake.
A homicide investigation has been launched in Shelby Township after 2 people are found dead in a home.
This happened at a home on Mesa Drive, not far from the intersection of 26 Mile and Mound. And Priya Mann joins us now live because police just gave us an update on this investigation. Priya.
That's right, Devin and Kim. Shelby Township police are not ruling out domestic violence as a contributing factor here. A 26-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman are dead. Sources are telling Local 4 this was a murder-suicide.
I did see the police up and down here through the weekend.
Neighbors in this Shelby Township subdivision were stunned to learn 2 people were dead and that police were investigating.
It's scary. It's very scary. I have an alarm though, so.
Sources tell Local 4 police are investigating a murder-suicide in the neighborhood near 26 Mile and Mound Road.
Something like that could happen anywhere, I guess. Even if you feel safe at home, you might not be. So, that's just terrible.
Shelby Township police will only say a man and woman are dead and will not comment on how they died.
That's so, it just blows my mind that something like that could happen in here.
It's upsetting to hear anyone passes away, especially in that manner.
Police were called to the home in the 5200 block of Mesa Drive around 6:30 Friday evening. Neighbors say their hearts go out to the victim's family and are hoping loved ones can heal from this tragic loss.
I feel awful for this. I can't believe something like that has happened here.
Hopefully things are figured out and, everyone else is healthy in your lives and you can kind of somehow move past this and move forward and try to stay happy.
And while police are staying tight-lipped about the investigation, they do want to reassure folks, saying there's no danger to the public. Of course, we'll continue to follow this investigation. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Sure will. All right, Priya. Tonight, the mother of one of the 3 rappers found dead in an abandoned apartment complex is speaking out through her heartbreak.
Montoya Givens was supposed to perform at a club on Detroit's east side along with 2 friends, but that performance was canceled and they were never seen or heard from again. Sean Lay spoke to Montoya's mother today. Sean, understandably, she's got a lot of questions.
A lot of questions with the killers presumably still out there. And look, this is the first time we're hearing from the mother of Montoya Givens, but we're hearing from her on the phone because with the killers still out there, she's scared.
I feel numb right now. I feel very numb. And it's sad that people is judging these boys for crimes that they have already committed.
That's the voice of Katina Fogel. She's the mother of Montoya Givens, one of 3 friends, aspiring rappers who went missing on their way to a performance 2 weeks ago. The bodies of Givens, along with Armani Kelly and Dante Wicker, were found late last week in the basement of a vacant Highland Park apartment building. Fogel says she does not know why her son would be targeted. He recently got out of prison doing 10 years for the well-publicized carjacking of Pastor Marvin Winans. Fogel says her son was getting his life on track after prison, and now he's gone.
Have you learned anything more about what exactly happened to Montoya?
No, I know what y'all been putting out there. And I have not been watching no news. I have not been on social media. All I know is my son was found in an apartment building and dead. I'm just not hearing about over the airwaves about them finding, I guess, 2 or 3 people that's supposed to be involved. I have no clue.
We're speaking to Fogel on the phone today because she has no idea who killed her son and his friends. She's scared and protecting herself and protecting her family.
What everybody is saying is gang related. I don't know if it's gang related or not. I'm just taking precautions to protect my family.
And with the discovery of her son and her 2 friends in Highland Park late last Thursday night, this really feels like the beginning now of this investigation. Keep in mind, Kimberly, Devin, a 15-year-old is being held without bond in Warren with a stolen car of one of the victims, but possibly in connection with the homicides. Others were told being questioned, but MSP says today no charges as of yet, something to keep a very close eye on. We're live tonight. Sean Lee, Local 4.
So many
Back to you.
unanswered questions. Okay, Sean, thank you.
We turn now to forewarned weather. If all the snow hasn't melted, just hang on because we've got rain and close to 50 degrees headed our way as we look live outside from our Windsor Sky Cam. In fact, we've got a number of rounds of rain headed our way this week.
Let's get over to Kim Adams. Kim, we're talking about overnight and into tomorrow, right?
Yes, the first round, and that will be the lighter round. The heavier rain comes Thursday. Right now, it's a little chillier than it was yesterday. 32 at City Airport, only 29 in Mount Clemens, 32 Pontiac, 31 in Ann Arbor. That is 11 degrees colder than it was at this same time yesterday. We had a very weak cold front come through last night. It did touch off a few light snow showers and some rain as well. 11 degrees colder at this hour at City Airport and 7 degrees colder in Pontiac. Take a look at temperatures over the next several hours. We don't really drop much. We'll be at around 30 degrees by midnight tonight. And then tomorrow, that's when things really start to change. We'll have some very light rain, but mainly in the morning. In the afternoon, we should dry out and we'll warm up considerably. Our normal high is 33. We'll be in the mid to upper 40s tomorrow, but it will be windy with winds out of the south, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Take a look at these high temperatures over the next several days, well above normal, but there are some more rain showers headed our way. We'll talk about that coming up in the forecast. It's a great time to download the forewarned weather app so that you can get the interactive radar right in the palm of your hand. Just go to your favorite app store, type in WDIV, and download the forewarned weather app. Coming up, there's a new feature on that app that I'm really excited to tell you about it, and I'll do that in the forecast in just a few minutes.